Here we are once again. Hopefully, everyone gets the notifications for the what is going on. I am actually live. I guess I'll say I'm speaking to the ones that are catching the replay because you know how they do my channel. Hopefully, the people can fall in here that I sent the notifications personally to, and we can have an actual factual conversation going on. Let me see. So hopefully, people set reminders. Hopefully, they are having the ability to actually tune in. If not, I usually have a set marker that if nobody interacts, I go out. So hopefully, we get a conversation sparked. Hopefully, people enjoy the latest upload of the Lions Den that I posted and the previous one before that. Like I said, I got various Lions Dens in the can, and steadily working on newer content as, the world turns. It seems like every time we get a notification on our phone, or you may be passing by a smart television, or a billboard somewhere, or even somewhere out in, the actual factual. It's something that is new going on that needs to be spoken upon. I see a couple people falling in here. What's going on with you? Hopefully, they let you fall into the chat. I know sometimes they try to make it seem like, oh, Rick ain't got the chat on. No, that's not the case. Matter of fact, I want to say it's a beta option. Now I think it looks like a heart if you're able to get it on your YouTube, where be it a video. I think it's any video you could donate whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be a live stream. It doesn't have to be a premiere. It could just be a video, and you be like, hey, whatever they was kicking in that, I'll donate whatever. Now, as far as the revenue translating, I don't know about that, but I know it's an option. I think it looks like a heart. You got the one that looks like a share with an arrow, and you know, all the other various icons that they have on there. But I want to say they're doing a beta trial run, and that lets you know they play with my views. I wouldn't even be able to have that if I didn't have, reached a certain threshold of, having so many viewers. That's how I know my stuff is, on the limited. They got my page on the back burner. I guess I could say I'm still surviving because there's other channels that were flourishing way before mine that are no longer here, or if they done came back, they got them so limited and so facing so many technical difficulties they don't even do their channels. So like I said, the ones that are doing numbers, either you're with a corporate brand where essentially they're getting kickbacks for having that particular channel up, and you're pandering their products, or you're essentially a controlled opposition where you read off a script and you get to say, salacious things that essentially is not beneficial to anybody. And then you get to throw in things that they want you to say to kind of keep you stuck on stupid. Those particular channels will continue to thrive. You know, I've been kind of checking out, you know, channels that I don't usually check out to see, kind of what direction they're going in. Since we've been facing so much censorship. Well, certain channels been facing censorship. They got a new thing called it's misinformation. You're misinforming the people. Well, why doesn't, if it's like, especially like my platform, if it's a call-in show, Why don't someone call in and break down? Well, this falls under this for this reason. They can't do that because if they do that and they get disproven, it makes their point null and void. So essentially, they'll keep you in the gray areas of not knowing, oh, well, you can say this, you can say this. Well, I look at it like this: if you don't see any any opinion, because they're all opinions, until you go do the research for yourself and figure if it's actual and factual for your benefit. It's all opinions. So if one is blocked, then that would mean either it's so vulgar and it's so outrageous that they can't show the people. But even that, I would rather have someone, voicing all what they have to voice and then have a rebuttal. But if you can't have a rebuttal, if that's censored, then how informative is, the person, that's speaking to the masses, that they're letting speak to the masses? How informative are they? They're actually not informative. They're disinformative. So they say, oh, this is misinformation. Well, that's disinformative. I won't even say misinformation. It's disinformative. You're kind of trying to throw a monkey wrench where no one can actually, dispute what you're saying. And there's a lot of people that try to do sarcasm. They lead with sarcasm. Oh, they're being like this. They're just mad. No, that's kind of your ploy to make it, to try to validate your point why you can't have a rebuttal. Because if you have a rebuttal, honest rebuttal, not nothing that's demeaning. I mean, we all can go down to demean each other, but an honest one where you actually have to come up and point to the certain directions where you're getting said information, where you're citing your sources. They don't want that, because then that gets people to actually think, and they don't want people to actually think. They want you basically to be entertained and steadily buy their products, steadily have your data mined by whatever websites that you visit before you click on any particular video. You may have been shopping at Saks. You may have got a couple shirts there. You may order some mats for one of your cars you just picked up or something. Any little various things. You may have got some vitamins that you done heard about. Well, they're taking all of that information and using it essentially against you to, okay, how can we use this where we feel he may be going in certain areas that we don't like. So we'll throw up certain things, or you know, because a lot of people don't know about disabling cookies on their cell phones or tablets or even smart TVs. It's settings in there where you can actually do it, but they bombard you with going down so many. Oh, well, you got to do this. You got to go to this screen. People get frustrated and don't even do it. But it's beneficial, even if it takes clicking off my video to go look at, well, how do I turn off the cookies on my cell phone? You could type it right here on this platform. It's someone giving a tutorial on how to do that. These are things you need to do. Matter of fact, it's Amazon. You go to Amazon, like, hey, I need a cell phone cloak. So, I throw my phone in the cloak, and when I want to move around and don't want to be tracked by geolocation, GPS essentially, even if your phone says you got the settings turned off, if you're going past a cell tower or a 5G tower that's now essentially in light poles, is giving them your location to wherever you go. So you need something where maybe you don't want to be tracked. Throw it up in there, and then wherever you pop up at and you need to use your phone, you can pull it back out, use it there. Just like, think about it like this. That's why they got rid of payphones, because payphones are in one certain location. The payphone doesn't move, it's in that certain location. So you go to that location without nothing tracking you, and you use the cell phone, or not the cell phone, the pay phone for whatever. But the cell phone, you're using it in this said location, you're traveling, and you're hitting other people's Wi-Fi's. That's another way they track you. Like, not just from the 5G light towers or 5G towers or the towers, cell phone towers, period. They're tracking you through uh, people's Wi-Fi connections. Just think, if you drive down the street, it's this. Let's say it's a short block, and say it's maybe 20 houses on each side, and maybe 11 and maybe 8 houses got Wi-Fi. Well, your cell phone is pinging off of each one of those Wi-Fi routers, because just think, when you're trying to find, okay, do y'all got Wi-Fi? You go to your Wi-Fi settings to see, okay, which one's open. Oh, is this one? Oh, what's your password? Well, that's the same thing that it's doing when you're riding through somewhere. Just like I was saying in one of my earlier live streams, where you see these the little scooters, the Uber scooters or Lyft scooters or city scooters, whatever they got. They're city contract scooters, and they place them throughout the city. Usually they're at the openings of a street and the ending of a street, different blocks. So you figure, you ride through there on either scooters or cars or motorcycles, and you got your cell phone. So, okay, he been through here at this time. He went through here at this other corridor at this time. It's like they got a GPS map on where your routes are every day. Okay, let's pull up, John Doe's route. Which way does he go? If he works, okay, he's running this route down there every day at this time. Okay, he gets off work. Okay, what does he do extracurricular? Okay, he's running to the gym, or he's running to, the grocery store. They know all your routes. They know what you're spending. Oh, look, he done ordered this up on Amazon this many times. He done sent this person a Cash App or a Venmo this many times. They got all that tracked. But, a lot of times we get caught up in other things we're doing in life where we ain't paying attention to those particular things. But these are some things we need to pay attention to. Like I said, they got these tutorials and different channels that express this. But on my particular channel, that caters to a lot of melanated and some people that are wise enough not to be hateful and things like that, come to my channel. They don't want you up on this, because essentially they want you caught up on this web, so they don't want you to know about this. That's why I speak like this. And like I said, it's about to reach the threshold I usually go off if I ain't had no interaction. But at least, people catching a replay, hopefully, what I'm speaking on, you can go research it, and like, Rick ain't blowing smoke holes on my rear end. It's some real things that's going on. That, sometimes you be like, this don't make sense. Why is this happening like this? Well, if you go back and research some of these things, you're like, well, maybe if I change, when I say change my habits, like I said, get a cell phone cloak. Throw that cloak in there for times you ain't, on social media or getting updates, and just try it one time and maneuver throughout the city. Not saying, oh, I'm going to leave my cell phone at home. I mean, sometimes you do need to make certain calls or get certain messages at certain times. But if you have a cloak, you decide when you're going to do that. Just like when back in the day, when you decided, you know what, I do need to hit I need to hit the payphone real quick to, check on something. Well, that be the same way with having that cloak. You like, you know what, I do, because you figure, even if your stuff's in a cloak, you'll still be getting updates for different social media posts. You bought something on eBay. Your little cousin's trying to ask you about borrowing some money. All those alerts are still coming. You just won't get them immediately. It'll still be out there, how they say, in the cloud. But until you uncover that phone out of that cloak, they won't be hitting you. You won't be hitting all these different, Wi-Fi routers and cell phone towers. Because This is what you should do. If you're with your girl, if you're with your guy, if you're female, and you're with your guy, go to your settings and y'all ride. Go to your settings and go to the Wi-Fi. And when you're riding, just see how many times it's trying to connect to different Wi-Fi's when you're riding throughout the city. That's how you know that they're able to track you. That's why I don't understand why people be doing certain things that can land them in places they don't want to be. Do not pass go. To and they got that essentially the cell phone is the snitch. The cell phone is the snitch. You got that on you. You got the snitch on you. But if you got the cloak, that like makes you invisible. Why not be invisible? Sometimes you need to be invisible. Like back in the day, we when cell phones and pagers really wasn't prevalent, we were invisible, truly invisible. But now it's like, oh no, he's right here. We can check all his social media posts and all this. He's saying this. He's in the old girl DMs talking about doing this and that, and sending her some Vimos for some things that she done rendered on him or something like that. Tony Styles, what's going on? Me and you had a phenomenal conversation on shoot, I don't even know. I think it was not this last one, but the one before last. We had a good conversation when you was able to call in, and anybody that wants to actually call in. I know some people can't be. They might be driving and can't be touching the touch screen to say whatever they want to say. The hotline is posted in blue at the top. Once this live is over, I'll knock it out because it's over. It's over. I don't need to do the call-ins when it's actually over. But once it's actually when it's live and it's in blue, you can actually call that and speak on whatever you want to speak on. What is going on is usually a freestyle of you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm just leading the topic off like this. I mean, there's so many different things in the world that's going on that's vying for your attention. Certain things just can't get your attention. Certain things shouldn't trigger you. So many things in this world try to trigger you, try to, steer you away from your purpose, from your goal, from you achieving. But you got to level up. Just like we were speaking in the how do you cut dead weight, you gotta do things that you ain't usually used to doing, and analogies help. A lot of people, I don't want to think about how's this gotta do with whatever you're talking about. No, if you take the time to listen, it mirrors said situation. You can look at it from different aspects. But with that being said, we're 18 minutes in. Hey, I appreciate those that actually fell into the actual live stream. I will stay on a little longer, but seems like it's like I don't like just talking by myself. I mean, I can, but it almost seems like I'm wasting my breath when I do that. I like interaction. Oh, you said you got rid of some dead weight recently? Hey, props to you. Hey, it has to be had sometimes. A lot of times more than often. Matter of fact, I had some dead weight that I got rid of, but I look at it like this. It almost got rid of itself. Sometimes the dead weight gets rid of itself. You don't have to get rid of it. And when I mean that, you may have some people that you thought were friends or that are really associates that, y'all just fall out of favor. And you be like, you know what? They're acting like they're in a secret competition with me. I ain't even gonna, try to, get into all that. They must be going through something. So I'm gonna keep living my life and keep doing the things that I do that, strive and keep me and mine's, moving in the proper direction. I'm not gonna sit and play these child games when you're not a child. Even if you're a child, if you're a young, late teen or early 20s, you gotta really think like, does it really pay to be in competition? Oh, you say yes, that's what happened. Yeah, does that really need do I need to be in competition? Do I need to be spending my precious energy in that direction? No, I do not. You know, that's gonna hinder me from achieving my goals. I'm trying to achieve my goals, not be hindered from achieving my goals, you know. That's not the goal, you know. That's an actual hindrance, and nobody wants a hindrance. There's too many hindrances already out here in this life. Think about it, like if you don't did time behind the wall over something that, you know, wasn't really about making money, and then you get out, now you got to play catch up. And when you're playing catch up, it's like, man, okay, I done lost all what, you know, I had accumulated in that time over this move that I shouldn't have made. So now I'm playing catch up. So now, you know, you got some experience behind you. Hopefully you got some experience that you learn from. And now you're like, you know what, I'm going to make these moves that's going to be more prosperous for my growth, where I don't go down them same routes that, you know, had me sent up, you know, and you know, waiting to pass go, you know. Oh, what's going on, Cadillac J? Just most definitely. I mean, I'll just say, I guess I expand on it. You know, Professor Ken. You know, he lays the playbook of how he lays the playbook. You know, and I let Professor Ken, you know, speak because people want to hear Professor Ken. It ain't so much about Rick. It's about putting Professor Ken and letting them hear his aspects in a different aspect. But my aspect, when it comes to essentially cutting dead weight, I look at it from, you know, you feel like, okay, this has been my partner for X amount of years. We done, you know, did some things. He done been there for me. But, you know, as time marches on, and it marches on for everybody, people change. You can't act like, you know, we always the same. Remember, we used to do this. Now you're going back in the history books. Yeah, it's been written. But going forward, we gotta make better moves. And if you ain't trying to make these moves towards betterment, and it don't even have to be like my move. Just you got to do something that's positive for you, that's making moves. I can't be the only one, because then, you know, it's like you know how you get leeches, how they show, you know, leeches, you know, get on you. They don't really show those. Back in the day, they used to show like how leeches get on your skin, and, you know, like what's those black slugs up on people. But they're sucking your blood, you know, and if they're sucking your blood, they're sucking your life force. Well, that's the same way with, you know, having partners that ain't really doing nothing, you know. You're making all the moves, you're coming up with all the plans to do things, or, you know, say you want to start some may think it's small. I want to start a lawn care service. You know, I done picked up a couple lawnmowers. I done got a cool trailer. I done picked up a little truck and things like that. You know, I done ran some ads to have a couple people, you know, running these machines, and I got a couple contracts throughout, you know, the city to, you know, do yards, or if you're in a snowy area, snow removal and things like that. But if you start talking to your supposed partner that's supposedly cool with you, and they start shooting it down and start shooting arrows through, you know, what you genuinely feel that's gonna, you know, do something bigger and better for you and yours, you know, you got to cut ties with that person. It ain't no hate. You know, a lot of people, oh, they hating because, you know, they done went this direction. No, I can't have nobody shooting down my dreams, down my aspirations to do better. You know, it's no knock against you. You know, it's just I gotta move on. That's a part of growth. You know, even if I do fail, because, you know, they want to shoot that, you may fail. Well, you know, that's even a learning process in itself. You know what? I didn't do this right. You know, but I'm gonna keep reaching out to people in different areas to hopefully I'm going about what I'm doing in the right way. Not, oh well, I'm not even gonna try, because that's not even an option. You know, you always gotta try. You said, word, never put your life into someone else's hands. Most definitely never put your life into someone else's hands. You know, I think the worst position you can be in, I mean, yes, sitting behind the wall under the clock, that's terrible in itself right there. But this thing, it's some people that's laid up in hospital beds that can't pass go either. That's another way I wouldn't want to be. I mean, But there's a lot of people that's not even hospital. It's people be in hospice. It could be people in nursing homes. I done found there's young people that's up in nursing homes. Then you're like, man, a young person in nursing home? A lot of people think that that's just regarded for people that are old or something. No, some young people that's up in there in desperate, tirade situations from, how they chose to live their life or how they chose to let other people manage their life. You got to manage your life. Nobody's going to, oh, okay, you go do this and, you're going to be successful with that. No, not even me telling you, oh, this is what you need to do. No, the only thing I would hope to do is inspire you to live out your dreams, whatever they may be. I don't want nobody to sit dormant and, collect dust. We ain't like antique cars where you can sit up, somewhere and we're good until, someone comes along and dusts us off and waxes us up and, bend corners and, puts us in shows and things like, no, we got to put ourselves in position to, be shining like diamonds, when we need to. And, collect dust. Some people may be thinking like, you're kind of dusty. Yeah, I got these dusty clothes on from putting in work, but I know I'm about to get some big bread off of this that's going to, further my sojourn. So think what you want to think. It ain't about what they think. It's about what I need to do. That's the type of mindset you got to get into. But once again, I enjoy that you, Tony Styles, you done came in here. Cadillac J just came in. Matter of fact, people, go to Cadillac J Just. You'll see him if you're watching the replay. It says J Just. Click on his icon. Once you click on his icon, he does what I do. He does what I do. He speaks on particular topics. We need more interaction like that. We need, hey, you like this person, you like how someone speaks about certain things, and you want to, have a conversation, go to his channel, become a subscriber, get the notifications when he goes live, Occasionally, Cadillac J Just, I want to say you post videos too, but more so live streams. We need more conversations. And if you got to see, I've been wanting to turn on my people to Twitter, but I don't know. It's like, cause I look at it. Twitter has Twitter Spaces. Like I said, I don't sat in on people's Twitter Spaces. The Twitter Spaces remind me of how this used to be, where you can have interactions. Like, if you're not playing by this platform's, trying to demean brothers and sisters and keep you stuck on stupid dang, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you got, they'll block you, as you can see my channel. But on Spaces, I got like thousands, just like I have thousands there, but you gotta have a topic. Or I would, if you don't, like, say if you do have a Twitter and you're able to have spaces, you don't have to start a space. You can sit in on people's spaces. And, it's just like Clubhouse. It's just Twitter's version of Clubhouse. If you have Clubhouse, where, depending on the room you're in, they got certain topics that they're dialoguing about with all different kind of people from all different type of walks of life, That's what needs to happen more. But this platform is trying not to do that. Yeah, Twitter Spaces is cool. I advise you, depending on what types of people you follow, because that's how it kind of, like, if you look at the top, it'll be highlighted in purple, and it'll look like it'll give off a vibrating vibe at the top, and it'll show whatever the topics are. And you could just click on it and sit in on it, and there's people talking. Now, some people is talking about silly stuff. Now, you leave out of them spaces, I call them rooms, because, like, okay, they ain't talking about nothing of growth, but it is some actual ones that you're like, I never thought about it like that, and then you can hit icons to be like, you know what, I like to, weigh in on this particular conversation. That's how it should be on here. It should be, you would think, since, this is a big platform, they will allow that, but they don't want certain conversations to go on here because they know you can reach so many people across the globe. Like, yes, I've been listening all the time, and I'm from Australia, or I'm from the UK, or whatever, wherever part of the globe you're at. You can express yourself. So like I said, on the spaces, is just that way. Like I said, I done sat on there almost 2 hours. Some of them spaces I don't seen go for 5 and 6 hours. I don't even know how that happens, but I think it's because so many people come in and out. It doesn't, it's like ever changing. So some people may go out, but then other people go in. So that particular topic is just going. It's not so much the people are the same. Maybe some are the same, but it translates into other people running with the topic. And like I said, that's how it kind of used to be on here. A lot of people will see that, like, if it's salacious, like now, if it's salacious, if it ain't about nothing, if it's about dragging someone down, that'll be jumping on here. The chats will be jumping. I done seen it where, okay, their chats is talking about stuff that is how beneficial. This is like soap opera stuff, or what's that? Not even soap opera. What's the word I'm looking for? Like reality stars, but it's reality stars soap opera. When I say soap opera, because people's caught up in the drama. Oh, this person did this, but how's this actually gonna improve your life? I mean, you still in the same rut. You giving these people, power and validity over controlling your mind over some idiotic stuff. But anything that's about actual growth, about actual, trying to, do some improvements and actually take some change about your life. If it ain't doing that, I don't want to hear about, oh, this person, if you dress like this, or this person should have did this one particular person. No, that ain't helping nothing. It's about your own self improvement, cutting off the ones that you don't need in your life that's hindering you. That's what I want. That's what I think anybody wants. Nobody wants to be hindered. That's just like when you get pulled over. You like, man, why am I getting pulled over? I was on my way to do whatever. But you got someone that's, got preconceptions in their head, and they feel, well, you fit the description. No, look, looks like he's about some business. We're in the future, we could run the plate and we could tell ain't nothing really going on with them, but we're going to hinder them and get them in this mind state of being upset, so then we can actually get them for something. We can actually, impound his car, put his vehicle in jail, essentially, impound, make him pay some money that he didn't have to pay, that didn't even have to come about because, it actually is something about them, and ain't nothing about you. It's about them. Like, my girl didn't give me none. Boss was on my ass. Why don't I take out my evil hatefulness on this person? That's what it's about. It ain't nothing about you. That's why it's like, don't get upset. Even though it's upsetting to be stopped like that, don't get upset. Okay, here's my insurance. Here's, whatever. I don't partake in none of that. I'm clean as the board of health. Let me go about my business. Let me turn this negative energy that you're trying to put on me into something positive, afterwards. We got to do that. We got to flip the script. We're powerful like that. But they don't want us to be on that mode. They want us to be on that evil, hateful mode that, does a number on our bodies. But yeah, most definitely check out that Twitter Spaces. Everybody check it out. Twitter Spaces. Go in and sit in on the topic that seems interesting. You gotta click on, listen for a little bit. You don't have to really speak. You can request to speak on some of them. I don't know. Sometimes they fulfill it, sometimes they don't. But just sit and listen. It's not just men, it's just females. They're talking back and forth about whatever the topics may be. You know, like I said, that's how it used to be on here before, oh, wait, real information is getting out. We got to hinder these people, especially these people, because he's speaking to this certain demographics. We don't like that. We need to keep those demographics vibrating low and drama. So we'll act like it's technical difficulties and all that. But like I said, if I had low views, if not low views, if I had low subscriber count, I wouldn't have the heart thing where people could donate. I wouldn't have the community page where people can comment and read my information. So you got to have a certain amount of people to do that. So with that being said, if I have all those options, but then I can't have people get notifications. I can't get myself recommended like I used to get it recommended. That's because they don't like the message that I'm dealing out. And it ain't like my message has changed. It's just that I done, essentially cleaned it up by not having any drama, you know, excommunicating from drama. They don't like that. They're like, oh, wait, he's not having these people stuck on stupid. We can't have that. Well, that's the route I'm going. I ain't changing in that aspect. So it is what it is. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody that done came through. Once again, we 36 minutes in, and I'm up out of here.